pay yourself first. Save early and often. Tara has a part-time job and spends every penny on clothes and movies and manicures and other things she needs. She doesn't really understand how her grandma became so rich since she was a cleaning lady all her life. Her grandmother explains the concept of pay yourself first and the power of compound interest. Tara becomes a convert. It was the first day of school and Tara was excited. As a junior, she pretty much had school down. She couldn't wait to get back and show off her new clothes. She had worked all summer and had saved enough to buy nice things at the very best stores. It was fun to see friends that Tara hadn't seen for 3 months. She looked great, and everybody important commented that she looked great. Classes were okay, pretty much the same stuff, math, English, science, and a couple others she couldn't remember. After school, Tara stopped by her grandma's to tell her about her day. Tara had great respect for her. She seemed to have a pretty easy life. Sometimes Tara wondered where she got her money, but she assumed that she had just always been rich. Grandma was sitting in her chair reading Teen People magazine. She looked up and smiled sheepishly.
I like to keep up. I just think some of these kids are so cute. Rich, too, I'd imagine.
Oh, yes, most of the kids are very rich.
You look very nice, Tara. New clothes?
Yes, I spent my summer money on them. I have a completely new outfit for each of the first 10 days of school. Then, of course, I can mix and match. I think I'm pretty good until Christmas. Then I will have extra money from my job for new ones. I'll be set for the year.
I see, Grandma replied. It's good to see you planning ahead. I made some cookies. Want some?
The rest of the visit went the same as most. Tara told her grandma about her friends' summer experiences, their comments about how nice Tara looked, her boring classes. She had to go because she had to be at work by 5, but she promised to stop by again tomorrow. The next day, Tara found Grandma sitting at her desk with a bunch of tables and charts scattered all around.
Taxes, Tara. I'm doing my taxes. I used to have some fancy-pants accountant do them, but it's so much fun, I just do them myself now.
Why do you have to do taxes, Grandma?
Well, my dear, when you make money, the government tends to take some of it away so that you can go to school and we can have roads and police and those types of things.
But why should you have to pay taxes? It doesn't seem fair.
Why, of course it's fair. If we want the government to pay for those things, then someone has to pay for them, and that's why our taxes do. Remember, Tara, the government is us.
All right, I guess I see your point, Grandma, but have you always worked?
I worked in the school cafeteria for 30 years. Your grandfather was a school janitor until he finished college and became a fancy-pants accountant much later.
Well, how come you have so much money now if you and Grandpa never earn much?
Tara, we didn't have much money, but we had one rule that I enforced. Your grandpa liked to spend money, especially when we were dating. He had an old Ford, he'd pick me up, and we'd go to fancy places until we got serious, and then I put a stop to all of that. So, how are your savings plans coming, Tara? Grandma asked, getting serious.
Saving? I don't make enough to save anything, Grandma. I just barely get by.
No, I guess you don't. It's just that your grandpa and I ended up rich because we planned ahead. I've always looked at my money as a game. It's not just making the money that's important. It's what you do with it after you earn it. It's sort of like chess. You have to think many moves ahead. You earn it, spend some, save some, invest, plan, think. It is the thinking and the planning that are as important as anything else.
Okay, Grandma, how did you end up with so much money?
Well, sweetie, it's like I told you. Your grandpa and I had a rule. I told him we would always save 10% of our income before we spent a dime. So, It didn't make any difference how much money we brought home. We always put away 10%. Then we looked around at some ways that we might make the money work for us. And that's why I'm able to live like I do today. Mind you, I'm still pretty careful with my money.
Tara was confused. But if you weren't making much, you couldn't have been saving much.
Well, honey, this is going to sound like one of your boring classes, but it's called The Power of Compound Interest. The key is to save early and often. There is a story called The Tale of Two Savers. Two people start saving money, and they both save the same amount of money each month. The catch is that the first saver, Isabel, begins saving at age 22 and stops at age 33, only saving for 11 years. She never saves another dime, but also never withdraws any of her saved money. The second saver, Tom, starts saving at age 34 and saves for 31 years until he's 65. Who do you think ends up with more money at age 65?
Tara thought for a minute. Well, it's got to be Isabel, only because that's the way you always set up these easy questions, Grandma. But it doesn't make sense to me. How could Tom save for so much longer and end up with less?
It's the power of compound interest, Tara.
Grandma pulled a table from her shuffle of papers and traced her finger down the columns.
Isabel only takes $24,000 out of her income, but then she lets that money go to work, and it works for a long time. So she ends up with nearly $1 million by age 65. That's pretty powerful stuff. But the key is she starts saving early. Then she lets compound interest take over. Interest earns interest, which earns interest. And the sooner you start, the more you have at the end.
That's great, Grandma. But how did you manage to save when you had no money?
We never even felt it, Tara. If you pay yourself first, you don't even miss it. Oh, sure, there were times we wanted to pull it out, and there were times when we had to take some out, like the time your mother needed surgery and our insurance didn't cover the whole thing. But there weren't many of those situations. Mostly, we just put it away and let it grow. Look at Isabel again. If she keeps saving up to age 65, she would have $1.3 million.
Grandma pulled out another piece of paper and showed it to Tara.
The rule of 72 tells you how long it takes to double your money. If you were to save $5,000 and earn 6% interest, you would have more than $10,000 at the end of 12 years. You just take 72 and divide it by your interest rate, and you will find the number of years that it takes to double your money. Here's an even more amazing way to look at this, Tara. Suppose I offered you two choices. One, I give you a penny today, which would double in value every day for the next 30 days. Or, two, I give you $300,000 at the end of 30 days. Which would you choose?
This is another trick question, Grandma. Only because it's you, I would take the penny. But it doesn't make any sense to me. How can a penny be worth more than $300,000?
Well, I just happen to have a table here that shows you the answer to that question. Take a look. A penny becomes 2 cents, which becomes 4 cents. Here's the good part. By the 12th day, we have more than $20. By the 20th day, we're up to $5,000.
Tara was speechless.
Got your attention, didn't I? Honey, this isn't going to happen in real life because this assumes the interest rate is 100% per day. But the point is that compound interest works for you. The sooner you save, and the more you save, and the greater the rate of interest that you can earn, the richer you will be. That is how your grandpa and I did it.
So you just save and become a millionaire, huh? Tara said. Sounds pretty easy.
Well, there are a couple of catches, Grandma admitted. That 10% interest rate looks great, but it may not tell the whole story. If inflation rears its ugly head, as it did in the 1970s, then that interest rate isn't real. Inflation eats away some of what you save. It's not what's in your paycheck that counts. It's what your paycheck will buy.
Grandma poured a little more tea and continued.
Then, of course, there's Uncle Sam's take.
So let me get this straight, Tara said. You save all your money, then you have to worry about the government taking some of the interest you earn, and your interest isn't even real interest if there's inflation. Grandma, it seems to me that you ought to just forget about it and spend all your money. Between inflation and taxes, you end up with nothing anyway.
Well, now, hold on a minute, Miss Spend-It-All. I admit it's not easy, but look at the results. Your grandpa and I saved quite a bit, and I'm pretty comfortable now. If I hadn't saved as much, why, I might be living at your house, and you and your mom and dad would be supporting me. Or I might be living in some old folks' home, depending on strangers to take care of me.
Tara looked confused. So what you're telling me is that I should start saving my money instead of spending it all?
Honey, I'm not telling you anything about what you should do. All I'm saying is that it worked for your grandpa and me.